October is upon us. That's right, people. My personal favorite month is here. I just love fall. I love Halloween. I love being scared. I love being scared by a lot of things, and I find that enjoyable sometimes. But today I'm basically going to be recommending and talking about some of my favorite movies to watch around this time of year. Not gonna lie, some of these are straight up sleepers, bro. Like some of these you guys probably have never even heard of before. What's going on?
What's going on, everybody?
How are y'all doing? Welcome back to another video on the Gare Bear channel. Today I wanted to talk about my favorite horror movies to watch during the Halloween season, and I picked 13 of them that you guys can watch. Yeah, I took a shower, so I'm trying to, like, you know, hide the craziness that's happening on my head right now. The absolute rat's nest that is festering on my scalp. Kind of disturbing movies too.
I'm your new nightmare.
That's right, baby. We are starting off the list with a classic to set the whole Halloween mood up. We are talking, of course, about A Nightmare on Elm Street. My boy Freddy Krueger. He's not my boy. He's not my boy. I denounce what I just said. This one specifically, I'm sure most of y'all have heard of, and that's another reason why I wanted to start the list off with this movie specifically. I mean, Will Smith wrote a freaking song inspired by this movie.
Even though I'm an action star,
Sometimes I'm a act bizarre.
This movie is all about the psychotic murderer Freddy Krueger. He stalks, he attacks, and he kills a group of high school students. You know, just a normal slasher vibe. But something that makes Freddy different from the other slasher villains and other slasher movies is that he attacks people in their sleep. So yeah, you basically can never escape the guy. He's always in your head, bro. And in this movie, Freddy Krueger is also revealed to be a very awful person. Let's just say he makes P. Diddy look like a teddy bear. Not good. Not a very good guy, that Fredward Crewneck. Even though that he is an awful, evil villain, he's very interesting, and you know it's always a good time seeing him on screen, like be an absolute menace to everyone around him. Nancy is a very famous final girl in the Nightmare on Elm Street universe. She always has to go head to head with Freddy. She's like his main enemy in these movies. And also Johnny Depp gets eaten by a bed in this movie pretty much while he's listening to music. Kind of crazy. I feel like a lot of people don't really know that Johnny Depp is in this movie, which is like. And after they fight, after everything kind of goes down, you kind of think that Nancy wins at the end, but of course it can't end like that because there are like, what, 15 more movies? I also really like the score of this movie, and the atmosphere in general is just really cool. It's just that classic 80s, like Halloween, man. Inject that into my veins. That's what makes Halloween Halloween. These awesome 80s scores and movies in general are just so good. And so just simple. They just have a simple premise, and they're so enjoyable to watch. So yeah. And that's really why I put A Nightmare on Elm Street on this list anyway. It's a perfect mood setter for Halloween. It just immediately gets you like right hooked into the whole season, and it's just a fun watch. So definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it already. House LLC. This one is one of the sleepers I was talking about. I feel like a lot of people don't know about this movie. But House LLC is a found footage horror movie that came out a few years ago. It's basically about this group of 20-somethings that purchase an old house in the middle of nowhere, and they turn it into one of their famous haunted house chains. And their haunted houses are always really popular around the Halloween season, apparently. People flock to them, and they're very popular, very cool. Fun fact, Actually, I think I've said this before. I was running from a chainsaw-wielding guy, you know, pretty scary. I started feeling sick. I wasn't scared. I was scared, but it wasn't the reason why this is about to happen. I felt sick because I ran so fast, so hard. I was screaming the whole time. I said the safe word, and I exited the nearest exit. I definitely have said this before. This is basically the story of McCamey Manor, but fictional. They all get there and begin to set up shop, but weird things start to happen, of course, because, you know, why wouldn't they, right? The first day is pretty normal, but the longer they're there, the weirder everything gets. And it turns out there were some Satan worshippers that used to use this house as their meetup spot and their grounds of doing all their rituals and everything. Probably like the last place you'd want to buy. Probably why they got it so cheap. In the housing market today, bro, I mean, you gotta buy some demon houses to get by. I don't know. I love how this movie starts off with the ending that takes place on Halloween night, but then we cut back to the team whenever they first show up. This movie really builds tension nicely, and it's one that had me clenching my cheeks about what could happen next. The acting sometimes isn't really the best, but you're mainly watching this movie for how thrilling it is. Like, it is actually so scary at parts, and it's really good at just like pacing things out and really making you wait for the next scare, because you know it's coming, you know something's coming, and you don't know what could be coming, but it's definitely going to be a scary thing that's coming. On to the next movie. Shaun of the Dead. What can I even say about this movie that hasn't already been said, bro? It is so good. After the very dark House LLC, I figured I'd throw in a good horror comedy in the mix, and this one is my favorite horror comedy by far. We're introduced to Shaun, and he's kind of a normal British dude. Well, I guess as normal as you could be if you were British. He also has two roommates who are very different from each other, Ed and Pete. Ed is Shaun's best friend. Pete? Yeah, not so much, bro. He's kind of an elf.
New kitchen gun!
And one day as Shaun goes to work, like a regular day, some weird stuff starts to happen all around him, and he doesn't notice. He probably doesn't notice because it's an average day in England. Like, let's just be honest. This kind of stuff just always happens. But it turns out it's a zombie outbreak, and he and all of the people that he knows must figure out a way to survive. One thing this movie does really well is blend horror, comedy, and the serious parts. Like, it doesn't undercut anything. The comedy is there. It's still pretty scary, and it's still pretty dark and serious, and it makes you really actually care about these characters. Like, you don't want to see any of them die, but of course some of them do. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. This is definitely a must watch if you love horror comedies and just comedies in general. Like, it's a good comedy by itself, and it's a perfect break from just straight horror in the month of October. This one's a sleeper. This one is super underrated, and it actually took me a minute to find it. Like, I was just scrolling through different horror movies one day on Letterboxd, and I was like, hold up, what is this one? I like that ghost mask on the cover. It actually looks kind of cool. So I popped on Haunt. Haunt is another horror movie about a weird haunted house, but this time it's about a group of teenagers who are looking for something fun to do on Halloween night. They get the idea to go to this haunted house because they want to get a good scare on Halloween respectfully.
My God.
They find this janky old wooden sign that leads them right to a very strange haunted house. And dude, I'm all for a good time, but heck no, I ain't doing that. They run into these people with Dollar General Halloween masks, and they lead them and help them navigate around the haunted house and show them around, just show the rookies the ropes, man. That's what they doing. How nice, man. Like, surely they aren't psychotic murderers. We should shoot them. Anyways, this movie is a ton of fun, but I literally never hear anyone talking about it. I feel like it's definitely a sleeper, definitely underrated, kind of goated. Not the best horror movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and preface that. It's not the best one, but it still makes the list because I wanted to include one that a lot of people haven't really heard about yet, and I want you guys to experience what I experienced, man. I thought this was a good movie. To be fair, at some point they connect the main girl's story with some of the people at the haunted house. I don't know what that's about, and this isn't really a spoiler, but let's just say that I like this movie a lot more whenever they had their masks on. I feel like when they took them off, it kind of ruined the whole mystery of it. It's scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Here's a blurred picture right here. I really like the look of the masks. I don't know. I feel like the masks just kind of remind me of like just classic Halloween. You know, it's just a very classic look. And I like that more than what they do when they take their masks off. Some could say they look haunting. But yeah, sorry. That's Haunt. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already. It's pretty good.
Wait! Before the video goes on any further, I would like to thank today's sponsor. Yours truly, actually. We got Anti-Karen Club. We got golf. We got Go Smell the Roses poop shirt. Those are all out right now. Sorry guys, it's really hot out here. It's actually hard to breathe. We actually have a website now called garb.something. It'll be up right now. Check the link in description and you can go, buy some shirts. Support me in another way other than watching these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and back to the video.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
So, John Carpenter's The Thing. This one is definitely not a sleeper. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about this movie. Rightfully so. It's one of my favorite horror movies personally. This is also basically the first Among Us game. Do what you will with that information, but I thought it was just something to mention. So pretty much this movie is about a group of scientists who are doing research in Antarctica. I look so ominous right now. Dang, dude, I look freaky. Everything seems to be going right until they find a husky out in the snow and they decide to rescue it. I would have let it run around. It's in its natural habitat. Leave it alone. But that's just me. I might just be a horrible person. But this thing is not a husky at all. It's a shape-shifting alien creature thing. This starts off a chain reaction to where the scientists soon realize that one of them is not who they say they are, and they start conducting different experiments and test out each other to see if one or more of them are imposters. There could be more shapeshifters among us. We never know. Some of them also start going crazy, which is valid. I mean, you're in the middle of freaking Frosty's butthole, so. But like, where do I even begin with how good this film is? The location of this movie makes the whole ordeal seem much more lonesome and terrifying. The concept is so ahead of its time. The practical effects are insane and still hold up so well today, and they are actually disgusting. They're actually still very sickening to watch. Here's a clip right here. Close your eyes if you're scared. I mean, I guess it's too late now. You've already seen it. The acting here all around is great. Kurt Russell is always so good in everything he's in, and this is no different. What's crazy is his performance is just as good as everyone else's. Like, everybody brought their A game in this movie. It's a must-see. I mean, what can I even say about it? That's not already been said a million times. It's a great movie. Definitely go check it out. Alright guys, this one is my favorite movie of 2024. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. Is my favorite movie of 2024. But Smile 2, of course, is the sequel to the first Smile movie, and I thought the first Smile movie was okay. I had nothing to write home about. Good, acting was good, story was pretty good, decent, but the sequel is literally so good. It is probably one of my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. That's that type of good. That's the type of good I'm talking about. It's that good. This one picks up right where the first one left off, and spoilers ahead. We start off with the cop guy having the demon passed on to him. He's struggling right now because he's been seeing a lot of visions, just like the girl in the first one. And he tracks down some criminals in one of the best opening scenes to any movie I've ever seen. Literally ever seen. Anybody else was here! This is not an exaggeration. The demon eventually makes his way to Sky Riley, and she is our real main character, and she's a pop star. She makes a lot of music and labels. She's going on tour again even after a whole scandal of her being into drugs and being addicted to drugs. She's trying to find a way to kill this demon for good and stop the spread of I mean, crap. I can't say that. I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm gonna bleep that out. The sound design in this movie is haunting. It's so good. But yeah, this is always one that I'm just gonna throw on because how much I like it, how good I think it is. And you may not feel the same way. I don't know, man. I just really geeked out over this one. I love the camera angles. It's so good. It's perfect. And I'm so glad to say that it's really good. So that makes the list. Watch Smile 1 first, but this one, I feel like it also doesn't get talked about enough. It's so good. The next one is a classic body horror flick, The Fly from the 1980s, starring Jeff Goldblum. He's pretty much a mad scientist in this movie, and he's trying to figure out the science of teleportation. There are two different sides to the teleportation machine. One side had a small little fly, and he's also in that one. Not a very smart thing to do. The experiment ends up splicing their DNA, and Seth starts turning into a fly. A mad flyentist. Thank you. I'm done. Not gonna lie to you, this movie gets pretty disgusting with what happens. To put it lightly, his body basically starts disintegrating because of the fly's DNA. I remember watching this for the first time and being like, ew, bro. You kind of feel bad for the guy because he kind of meets the love of his life right before he does this experiment. She's like a journalist. She comes in and watches him do it, and she witnesses his downfall basically firsthand. She's the one that's there with him. It's like a good drama, almost like a good love story, but then things start going wrong for him and he starts becoming an actual fly. Not a good look, bro. But even when she wants to go out and do stuff with him, he is locked in and glued to his work. He hardly ever wants to do anything. He's so locked in. Pretty depressing, and just to know that he becomes something that's so awful later. The makeup team really does cook with the film though, because Brundle starts looking absolutely vile. I would not want to go anywhere near this guy for real. But yeah, this movie's great. It's probably one of the best body horror movies ever made, and it was made back all the way during like the 80s, and just like The Thing, another great body horror movie. I still think The Thing is probably the best one, but this one, that's definitely a close second in my opinion. The Ritual is fantastic. Let's just get that out of the way right now. This movie is so good. We start out with this group of guys going out on a backpacking trip in Sweden. As soon as they start making their way through the woods, they start running into some things that are very, very out of place. There are abandoned houses, weird stuff carved into trees. There are symbols everywhere hanging from things, very creepy statues. It doesn't help that each guy in the group starts getting picked off one by one. The reveal of what is doing this is just wow. Mwah. Chef's kiss. So cool. Like, look at this thing, bro. If this was a group of Americans though, this movie would have ended so quickly. There are so many different genres of horror in this film. You've got psychological horror, survival horror, paranormal horror, folk horror, and it's also a creature feature. I love the Wendigo. This film just does so many things right. And we get into like this weird like cult stuff too. It's freaking crazy. There's a big old fire.
Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Scary. Next up, we have House of a Thousand Corpses. This one's a doozy. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This one's disturbing. I mean, it's a Rob Zombie movie. What do you expect? He's one who attempted to reboot the Halloween series back in the 2000s. Not the best. Not the best at all. I didn't like those very much. I do really like this movie though, and I think it is still worth watching. Even past all that other stuff I mentioned. We start off with these two robbers attempting to rob this redneck clown dude, Captain Spaulding. And of course they get murked. I mean, like, what are you doing? What are you doing trying to rob a redneck? You know they're gonna have a Colt 45 in their back pocket, and they're going. And then we meet up with our actual main characters, two different teenage couples. These people do not look like teenagers. I'm sorry, bro. One of them is Dwight from The Office. They are looking for something spooky this Halloween. Deja vu, I know. This sounds very much like Haunt, very similar. And that's when they stop at Spaulding's gas station / haunted house. And after this, they end up driving a little ways away. They get all spooked out by Spaulding, and they end up getting captured by this family of redneck psychopath serial killers. And they found what they were looking for. Definitely freaky, definitely freaky, definitely scary. It definitely has a strong Halloween vibe. It really does. Rob Zombie may not be one of my favorite directors, but this is a decent watch for him. It's actually a pretty good movie, and probably my favorite one I've seen by him.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
On day 10, we get a little Lovecraftian horror film, From Beyond. Another 80s classic, if I do say so myself. This one is another one that I feel is pretty underrated, like it's not talked about very much, but a mad scientist created a machine to interact with creatures from another world, but ends up killing him, or so we think. And a group of other scientists start to try and keep experimenting with the machine. It keeps calling them. It's very creepy, very weird. But I love 80s horror movies, and this one is honestly really solid. The creature that comes through the machine makes everyone act, yeah. The original mad scientist dude is actually terrifying though. Like, look at this dude. He's freaky. Every time he comes through the portal or whatever too, he looks different and equally as terrifying. So he looks like my tissue when I'm really sick, dude. Like, this is messed up. But it's another great body horror movie, like I said. And if you're into weirder horror movies and ideas, it's pretty solid. It's another good body horror movie if you're looking for, I mean, this is like a body horror list pretty much. I mean, it doesn't, I'm sorry that these are just really good. I guess you can say the next one on the list is kind of a double feature. Watch the first Halloween movie, please. For the love of Pete. I don't know who Pete is, but love him. The second one is the one that's specifically on my list, but watch the first one with the second one. They both really complement each other very well. This one continues the original story of Michael Myers really well. Like, we pick up right where the last one left off. Same night, same people, town, everything. And the town of Haddonfield is in a frenzy after the actions of Michael Myers get made public on the news. Laurie Strode ends up going to the hospital, and Michael Myers is still out and about, being an absolute menace to society. Like, bro cannot give people a break. The dude getting smashed by the police car because he was wearing a Michael Myers mask has got to be one of the funniest deaths in anything. It's so funny.
Is it him or not?
And yeah, Michael Myers is just slowly making his way to the hospital where Laurie is being held. We get some more fun Michael Myers action and scares, and the setting of this being in the hospital is so cool and creepy and It's got a nice vibe, bro. It's got a really cool vibe, dude. I love the vibe of this movie, bro. And also, let me just say, these are the worst hospital employees of all time. And in any movie ever. They make me so mad, dude. They make me so mad. I hate these people. The next one is an anthology horror movie. Oh, my heart, my still beating heart. I love anthology horror. As you guys know, I'm a big Goosebumps fan. I have every single book. I was part of the Goosebumps fan club when I was a young lad. I love anthology horror movies, dude. It's so good. And shows like Goosebumps. But the next thing on the list is Trick or Treat. The vibes from this movie are absolute. There we go. Again, the vibes. This movie's aesthetic is really pleasing to me. This movie bleeds Halloween, dude. It's so fun to watch. We start off with one couple on Halloween, and then we get a little story, and the story ends, and then we go trail off to another story. That's kind of what anthology horror is, if you didn't know, if you're a little dumb baby. The stories are loosely connected. Some of the characters are in some of them are not. It's just they're all in the same sort of town, place. And I love when anthology is like that. Whenever there's like a character, maybe two characters that kind of connect each story, they kind of connect the dots in that way. It's just really cool. And also whenever anthology is just completely separate, also really fun. I feel like normally with anthologies too, there are some stories that are stronger than others, but that's not the case for this one, dude. I feel like every story kind of slaps in its own way. You get a story about a slasher guy who's just pure evil. We got like a creature feature. We got like ghost story. This is my day 12 pick. You're almost to the big day itself. And this one's just a perfect one to throw on. And I think it's so much fun. It's so much fun to just watch it again. And I can't wait to watch it again this year. But the last thing on my list, I mentioned it. We got Goosebumps: The Haunted Mask. Personally, my favorite Goosebumps story. Personally, my favorite Goosebumps book. And whenever I say it's my favorite, I rewatch this one pretty much every single year around Halloween, if not on the day of Halloween. Goosebumps, the 90s show, is one of my favorites, admittedly. I mean, this episode specifically is my favorite one. This episode is a two-parter, actually, that follows Carly Beth, a girl that's literally scared of everything in existence. She cannot catch a break. She ends up coming across a creepy little Halloween costume shop where she wants to find a scary costume to scare her bullies, Chuck and Steve, and to show them that she isn't scared. She's not a scaredy cat anymore. But she ends up making her way to the back of the store, where she finds a collection of very scary masks, scarier than anything at the front of the store. And the owner of the shop looks like he's seen better days. He looks like a corpse. He looks scary. He's actually probably the scariest thing in the store. But she ends up basically taking the mask from this poor guy, and he warns her that it's cursed before she runs out the door. Why did you just take it? Even after he said it was cursed? Like, do you not believe the guy? He owns the shop, and it's a weird pop-up random Halloween. Oh, anyways, whatever. The mask ends up getting stuck to her face on Halloween night and basically makes her an evil gremlin child. This episode specifically is a ton of fun and just such a classic for Halloween and just to throw on. The acting isn't the best and the effects are not the best at all, but it's a TV episode of 90s Goosebumps, so like you can't really expect anything more is what I'm trying to say. You're kind of getting what you paid for with this episode and with this final pick on my list, so don't go crying in the comments. And it's just so fun. It's a fun classic. You cannot go wrong with Goosebumps: The Haunted Mask. But that's the end of my list. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to include all the Scream movies on this list because that is my favorite horror movie of all time, favorite horror series of all time. And yeah, I definitely wanted to include that, but I got something coming down the pipeline I'm pretty excited for. But anyways, that was my list of 13 Halloween movies to watch before Halloween that absolutely make me scared. And yeah, let me know which one of these is your favorite. Let me know what your favorite thing to watch on Halloween is. Actually, if you want to give me a list, that would be cool too. It doesn't have to be 13, I guess. You could do a lot less than that. Happy Halloween, stay spooky, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you guys have a very scary, lovely day.
When the best outside, little bitch, you better be